Hello and welcome. Today our guest is the former Union Minister Mr. Natwar Singh, whose new book One Life Is Not Enough has already hit the stalls and controversy is already surrounding this book. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Singh. Sir, my first question to you, that what is one important event that you could not mention in the book which you regret that probably you should have done, but you feel and you have kept it for your next book probably?
Yeah. No, I have not edited. People are saying that after Mrs. Gandhi came, not the word has been changed. I have certain constraints having been Foreign Minister of India, and certain proprieties have to be respected. So there are several things which I can't write, and I have not written about them.
So I have read a few pages of your book, but anyway I did not find any mention about the Bofors case, because you were one man who was very close to the Prime Minister, Mr. RAJIV Gandhi. So what restrained you from mentioning about that particular episode?
You see, when you look back on history, it's at that time it became big news, and I think it was mishandled. My suggestion would have been that please don't get involved in it at your level. He said no member of my family is involved. I was sitting behind him in the Lok Sabha. I said, "Kya keh rahe hain aap?" He said it. All they were needed was to appoint a committee under the cabinet secretary, and then they'll inquire and report it to the Prime Minister. But it became such a major issue that on account of it, the Congress lost the 1989 election. It was very tragic, because Rajiv Gandhi did not take 1 rupee.
So in page number 65, it's a very interesting aspect that you have spoken about Indo-China war. In that you speak about the wit of the Chinese government and also say that the Indian Prime Minister was not efficient enough with all the information. That's the reason why Indo-China war took place. Probably you implied that it could have been averted, Indo-China war that happened in 1962. Is it true?
So this was long before Rajiv Gandhi. You're talking about Jawaharlal Nehru?
Yes.
No, I think Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was a very great man. There's no two doubts about it. Hero of the freedom movement, number 2 to Gandhiji in the freedom movement, and read a great deal about foreign affairs, a great author, a wonderful human being. And he laid the foundation of Indian democracy, Indian secularism, Indian pluralism, and humanism. All the dams, the IITs, Atomic Energy Department, all he's doing. Now on this, the foundation Indira Gandhi built up and Rajiv Gandhi continued. But he was not a great foreign minister. And to take the Kashmir issue to the Security Council of the United Nations was an error. But he was advised by Lord Mountbatten to do so. And we went to the Security Council under Chapter 6 of the UN Charter, which is for disputes. We should have gone on to Chapter 7, which is aggression. I mean, no, if we didn't go, Pakistan would have gone. But that's a different question. We dealt differently. So this, we are stuck with this today. And he also promised a plebiscite. Then on China, I mean, he had a genuine historical feeling that there's no reason why these two countries should come into conflict. Therefore, 2,000 years of friendship. But if 2,000 years means nothing, there was no means of communication, you couldn't. But he trusted Mr. Zhou Enlai and the Chinese leadership and Mr. Mao Zedong. This is a great error of judgment.
So you mean to say that the Indo-China war could have been averted had proper decisions been taken at right moment by the Indian government?
You see, we are not prepared for it, because Mr. Krishna Menon was the defense minister, and he had told Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, sir, the real threat is from Pakistan, not from China. Okay. And Jawaharlalji believed that.
So he was misinformed.
Yeah, and then he at one point he said that, I'm more interested in what is happening in Nagaland than what China attacking us, because I don't think they'll attack in my lifetime. So he was mistaken about this. I mean, all statesmen make mistakes. I mean, Churchill did, Roosevelt did, but so did Jawaharlal Nehru. And the third mistake he made was that the Soviet leadership in 1955, when Jawaharlal Nehru was on a state visit, and he'd got a tremendously popular welcome, Mr. Bulganin suggested to him that we are thinking of taking up your case to become a permanent member of the Security Council with the veto, because the Formosa is not represented. And the Prime Minister said, no, we will get involved in all sorts of kind of things. And now we are running around the whole world asking them, please make us a member. And now it's going to be very difficult indeed. Because to change the charter, the 5 permanent members have to agree. And China doesn't want us to become permanent member. Only Mr. Putin generally wants. Mr. Barack Obama came here and India should be, okay, what are you doing about it? Are you taking and what are the British doing about it? What are the French doing about it? They will never like to have India. China won't like us to be there in Security Council. Now they are representing Asia, Africa, Latin America, one country. So they won't. So this was a great error.
So now coming back to 1984 and Rajiv Gandhi, when Mrs. Gandhi was killed in the assassination, and at that point of time also there was certain efforts being made. Sonia Gandhi said that I do not want my husband to become Prime Minister, and Rajiv Gandhi said no, I will. So the history repeated again when Sonia Gandhi was to become Prime Minister and Rahul Gandhi said no, you should not, you will be killed. So what do you have to suggest on that? Is it the fear of being killed is there persisting in the family because what has happened in the past, and it is not Rahul's fault to say such words for his
No, I think I give full credit to Rahul, that as a son, he said, I know that you will be killed if you become Prime Minister because my father was, my grandmother was. And as a son, I will not let you do this. And she had to agree to go along with him, and I think full marks to him as a son. And she couldn't possibly say, no, I am not going to listen to you and I am going to take it. No, she didn't do it because of. And people say that suppose she would have become a little later, but Rahul would have been still there.
So you think that it was the right decision taken by Sonia Gandhi at that point of time when Rahul objected?
No, this was the decision taken. I mean, whether right or wrong is a different matter. This is the decision taken.
So, do you think the scenario of Indian governance or government or the political system would have been different had Sonia Gandhi become the Prime Minister instead of Manmohan Singh being the Prime Minister, because she would have directly controlled the entire decision? Do you think that it would have been a different scenario?
This is hypothetical, what would have happened. And I think the UPA 1 functioned well, it was doing well. So in only UPA 2 that things started going wrong, because Dr. Manmohan Singh thought that the victory in 2009 was his. He was sadly mistaken. And this is highlighted in Sanjay Baru's book, that he convinced himself that he was the man who was. But he has never been in the Lok Sabha. He's not fought he's fought one. In Delhi he lost it. It took him 1 year to recover because he was so demoralized. And in the 2009, my brother-in-law, Amrinder Singh, said, Dr. Sahab, please file the nomination, the rest you leave to us. But he didn't. He didn't want to. And when the nuclear deal was being discussed in Parliament, he couldn't vote his own bill because he is not a member of the Lok Sabha.
So you feel that had she become the Prime Minister, things would have been smoother? Do you want to imply that?
No, this is a value judgment I don't want to make. But it worked very well in the UPA one. Although he had to consult her all the time on major issues, and they met and they had a good relationship. It's only in the after 2009 that things started going wrong, and I don't blame Sonia Gandhi for it. It's, I think, the Prime Minister's.
So coming back to Rajiv Gandhi, he sent the troop to Sri Lanka, and you have clearly mentioned in the book that it was his sole decision. He never took any permission from the cabinet. Could you just elaborate on the episode? What happened back at home? In India, what was the repercussion of that decision?
No, you see, he didn't have to take permission from the cabinet. He just had to put it before. So when we went to Sri Lanka, I was also there, and Narasimha Rao ji was also there. Chidambaram ji was there, other people were there, lots of officials. So after the signing of the agreement, the President Jayavardhan had a reception in the garden of his house facing the Arabian Sea. So Narasimha Rao ji and I were standing together, and then we saw that the Prime Minister was surrounded by a number of officials from India and officials from Sri Lanka and President Jayavardhan. So Narasimha Rao ji said, why don't you go and find out? I said, why don't you go? Ask him. He said, आप चले जाइए. So I went. I said, can I take a minute? He said, yes. I said, what's happening? So he said, President Jayawardene has told me that the situation in Sri Lanka is so bad that he will not be able to control it. The country is on fire, and there would be a coup d'etat, and I need your help. So I suggested that we are going back tomorrow, you can. He said, but the situation is so desperate and urgent that I thought it right to ask our troops to come in, and they were sent there. This was the reason behind it.
What was it a major political setback in Rajiv Gandhi's career because of this decision?
No, the Sri Lanka policy became a tragedy because due to it he lost his life.
He lost his life, yeah.
The triumph about which people don't talk is China. It is due to Rajiv Gandhi that the Sino-Indian border has remained peaceful and tranquil for 26 years. He prepared for the visit so well, worked hard. He had the briefs on his fingertips. After all, he was meeting Deng Xiaoping, who was a world leader of Communist Party of 50 years, and Rajiv Gandhi was not nervous. He talked on equal terms as Prime Minister of India to the Chinese leader, and they got on well. Deng Xiaoping told him what his vision was. He said the border is a difficult situation. Let's put it aside. We'll have another mechanism, instrumentality, and there was a group appointed. But let's go ahead on other things, that we can cooperate on so many things. And then he gave his world vision, which was very similar to Rajiv Gandhi's world vision. So there was a great triumph, the visit. And it's sad that enough importance is not given to this trip.
So on brass tag, you have mentioned about the fact that Rajiv Gandhi asked you, because he was not informed about the entire operation, he asked you about Arun Singh, and he said that what should be done. Then you said that he should be removed. But Rajiv Gandhi said that no, he is a friend, and he did not take your advice on that point. Can you just elaborate on that episode? What exactly happened? Was he not decisive, or was he, as a Prime Minister, he was more soft?
When this brass tag happened, he telephoned me that, what are you doing? I said, no, come in quickly, I am going to the airport to receive the President of Afghanistan. Sonia Gandhi was also in the car. So he told me, we are about to go to war with Pakistan. So I said, but External Affairs knows nothing. He said, but neither do I. I said, you're Defense Minister. He said, but they have kept me in the dark. The Minister of State for Defense, Arun Singh, and Sundarji, the Chief of Army Staff. I said, but this is an extraordinary situation. So then we worked very hard to diffuse the situation, and I suggested to the Prime Minister and the Tiwari was Foreign Minister that Tiwari should call the American ambassador, I'll call Russian ambassador, and tell them to satellite see if there is any movement on the other side. So they came and said that for 18 hours there's no movement. So we reported to the Prime Minister. Mr. Arun Singh ji said, these satellites are not good. So I said, listen, we've got bullock carts. The Prime Minister agreed with me. And when they had left, he was also accompanied by General Hazari. So after that, he asked Tiwari ji, what should I do with my Minister of State for Defense? So Tiwari ji looked at me and said nothing. So I said that you should sack him. So he said, he's a friend. So I said, sir, you are not the President of the Old Association of the Doon School. You are Prime Minister of India. Prime Minister said, no friends.
So,
then he changed him from the ministry and sent him to Ministry of Finance. He resisted this. Rajiv said no. Then Rajiv removed him from being a minister, then asked him to resign from the Raj Sabha.
So one thing very interesting I found in the page number 341 of your book, in which during Manmohan Singh tenure you mentioned that India did not utter a word against the US spying over a large number of countries including India. Did you want to say that?
But he didn't. The Sushma Swaraj at least said so to this Kerry, their Secretary of State, that ये हमको मंजूर नहीं है कि आप हमारे snooping करें. Manmohan Singh तो नहीं कहा. He should have said it, that this is not wrong, this is not acceptable. On the contrary, he said.
So spying was happening since then.
Of course.
US is
the penetration of the CIA into India and many countries is very deep. We should be careful about it. There are 120 American diplomats in Delhi. What are they doing? At least 20% are CIA agents. Let the Americans deny it.
Sir, you shared a very close relationship with Sonia Gandhi as well. In the book you mentioned about the concern she showed to you. Then why did Congress distance themselves from you? What exactly happened?
No, but if the Congress president decided to distance herself from me, the Congress culture is that they all follow.
Was it the Volker's report the only reason you were...
No, but because I said the party committee absolved me. That there is no proof to say that Natwar Singh made any personal or financial gains from the contracts. In spite of this continued, and Pathak himself told me a lot of pressure on him to implicate me. He couldn't, but at the same time he acknowledged the Congress. The Congress name was also there. And he said, well, we don't know how the name of the Congress came. Well, you should have. After the Congress was doing oil business since 1997, it's documented.
You want to say that Sonia Gandhi took the decision. Did you ever try to patch up with her, with Sonia Gandhi after her decision for your resignation from the post? Did you try to meet her? Did you try to...
No. Because no, I was so outraged that, I was not in India when the report came out. And then suddenly I saw an email coming in Frankfurt that the Congress spokesperson had said that Congress is clean, Natwar Singh can look after himself. Now this couldn't have been made without Congress President's permission, and I was very, very outraged that she should have given me the benefit of doubt, saying, no, let him come back, he wouldn't do it. When I came back, she would have sent for me, please tell me what's happening.
So you would have still written this book had you been part of the UPA government?
Of course, why not? It's part of my autobiography. I have written it.
So many people consider as a vengeance against the Congress government and president.
Who are these people? They're pygmies.
Sonia Gandhi has said on a lighter note that she is going to write her own book and clear the facts. What do you have to say on that?
I will be very happy that she writes a book. She should. She owes it to this country that she writes an autobiography, a book. When I was with her, I used to tell her, you should write an autobiography. She said, no, I won't. But Priyanka is writing my biography. I said, I'll join Priyanka to write the biography. So I look forward to her book. And there are maybe she has things to say about me, which may be correct. I made mistakes. If I have, I'll say, yes, I made a mistake. But she should write it. She owes it to this country.
So, last question. You're planning to write one more book. What would be the content of that book?
No, you see, I've been keeping a off and on diary. So my next book will be called An Irregular Diary, in which a lot of things that I have not mentioned in the book I will.
Thank you so much for talking to DD News.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.